Well, I got around to doing another project that I've kind of put off for a while, but I'm finally putting a grate on my sluice. So I went down to my local metal supply store, and they have a section with remnants, which is basically, you know, full sheets that have been cut up and just a bunch of pieces. So luckily I found a nice little, I don't know, it was 2 foot by 4 foot piece, whatever it was, chopped it up. But technically, I think this is called expanded metal. There's a lot of different kinds. I'm not sure the exact size, but you can tell by the picture, you know, whatever the spacing is. But this is the nice kind, like if you were to put it in a sluice box and actually use it as riffles, because you could tell there's actually a nice profile on this. And that would create a nice little eddy and a current, and that gold would kind of sit behind that. So, but actually in this case, I'm not using it in that manner. So this will work out just as a grate to kind of get the rocks out of the way. So that really doesn't matter to me. But overall, I paid, I think 80 cents a pound, and it came out to like $7, $8 maybe. So for $8, you know, and I only needed a small piece. So stuff's pretty cheap if you're able to get some, you know, find a good deal, and you can put it together pretty quick and easy and cheap. Adding this grate on top of my sluice is going to help me get some of the bigger rocks. It prevents them from rolling through the top of the riffles, because that's where most of the fine gold is going to sit. So that gives a chance for the fine gold to kind of rest to the bottom there. And then the big rocks will sit on top of that grate, and I could just throw them out of the way. So another thing to think about is you can actually do something like this on any kind of sluice box. You know, part of some yearly maintenance almost is you want to check all your stuff out, make sure you're, you know, nuts and bolts on some of the Keen sluice boxes. You got to check all that stuff. Maybe you need to replace some of your matting. I used to run a lot of the miner's moss back in the day. I mean, that stuff's great, but after a while it gets kind of brittle and hard, and you know, depending if you have it rolled up or whatever. Another example is like my black matting that I just had to pull out of the top of my sluice. You know, after a while the sun bakes it and it kind of warps and things just get old and brittle. So it's kind of a good idea, I guess, to kind of go through your stuff and just replace some old worn parts, you know. Miner's moss is pretty cheap. You can find it on Amazon. I mean, even the riffles through Keen, I think you could buy those separate. And literally, I just watched a video on YouTube on how to do like aluminum brazing and stuff like that. I think later in this summer, I'm going to look at maybe making a custom sluice box of some kind, like a lightweight aluminum one. Man, I don't even know, maybe a carbon fiber one. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool just for shits and giggles to make a carbon fiber sluice box. I mean, it's over the top, but I mean, well, if it weighs like 2 pounds, heck yeah. And then I'll spray it with rhino liner or something like that. That'd be awesome. So hopefully I'll test this on the next trip, maybe in a week or so, and we'll see how it works. But this is just a video of me putting it together and kind of, you know, just slapping it on there. Real simple, straightforward. I didn't really want to put any holes or anything in my sluice if I can get away with it. But anyhow, hope you enjoy the vid. Real quick one, you know, just me putting it together.